Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good tonight. We're going to be hanging out for a little while, and I have a bunch of different topics that I want to discuss. A lot of topics that I either plan to cover in videos, some that are updates to situations that I've discussed, but a lot of interesting news tonight. We're going to be talking about a Mandalorian actor coming out during, I believe it was a panel, a Q&A session, and he was talking a little bit about, his experience on The Mandalorian, people he liked to work with, and he mentioned Gina Carano, which of course you guys know. I do not think that Gina Carano should have gotten fired from Star Wars or The Mandalorian, but it did happen. And now whenever anyone talks about her, other actors, usually there's a big situation around it because you have one side of people saying, oh, you shouldn't support her because of her political beliefs, and then another side saying, does it really matter what her political beliefs are? So I want to talk about this situation. There's a new, definitely interesting situation going on with Ubisoft right now. Because you guys know that every company always wants to find the next best thing. They want to do something new, they want to do something unique, and ultimately, they want to find a way to make as much money as possible. And now Ubisoft is looking at play-to-earn systems for their games by utilizing blockchain technology. Listen, I think that it's great if companies want to come up with new, unique systems for games. They want to try to do different things with their titles. They want to try to create new systems. But this system, in my opinion, doesn't sound the best. We don't have a lot of information on it. It's just kind of, like, oh, hey, everyone that plays our games, in the future, we're thinking about doing this thing. So we don't have a lot of information on it, but it's definitely something I want to talk about because I don't view this as a positive situation. We're going to be talking a little bit about Fortnite, guys. I do not play Fortnite. I do not care about Fortnite, but Fortnite's in the news because Epic Games decided to shut down Fortnite in China. And we don't really know why, but along with that, Yahoo also exited the Chinese market as tech crackdown begins. This is a pretty big situation because you guys know every company wants into the Chinese market. They feel like it's an untapped market and there's so much potential in the region. And Epic, apparently, even though Tencent does have some stakes in them, or some stocks in them, excuse me, even though that's a situation, Epic is deciding to pull Fortnite out of China. And I obviously have a couple of ideas why, like most people do, I'm sure. Like the new regulations that have been announced with 18 and unders only having 3 hours a week to spend on games. There's microtransaction limits. And, of course, this isn't just like them putting Fortnite into China. It's a sanitized version, basically a different version of Fortnite that's in the region. So a lot of development power went into that. But I want to talk about that. I quickly wanted to read this new statement made by Blizzard. Because they have decided that they will be delaying Overwatch 2 and also Diablo 4, yet they didn't give any dates as to when these games are going to release, meaning we probably won't see these titles for a very long time, even though there's been announcements like they were going to do for the Overwatch competitive scene in like March. They were going to be playing on a new like a newer patch of Overwatch 2 and a version of Overwatch 2, even though it's not the final version of it. We heard a lot of different things from Activision Blizzard, but now apparently Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 are being delayed. That's going to be a quick topic since we really don't have a lot of information on it. And I also want to talk about Rust. Now, I did mention this in another video. I talked about it. I did a dedicated video on it, but 2 weeks ago, there was a pretty terrible situation involving Alec Baldwin. He had shot this is rough. he had shot a director and also a cinematographer on the set of his newest movie. And there's been a lot of information about this situation. I haven't really covered it too much, but I wanted to cover it during the stream. I wanted to talk about some new updates. Oh, apparently maybe not. Okay. But crew members on the set of Rust are basically saying that they warned producers about the assistant director's attitude towards things like gun safety on the set of another film, on multiple films actually. And the Rust Armorer actually issued a statement after, of course, this situation, because a lot of people are looking to her for answers. A lot of people are wondering why she, you know, I should say, what part she had in this situation, just because there's also been a lot of rumors and information coming out about her. So we're going to talk about those things tonight. But before we get into the topics, hello everyone, hope your night's going well. We definitely have a lot of interesting topics tonight. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. A lot of interesting topics. Not a lot of good news, unfortunately. I mean, Diablo, Overwatch being delayed. I know a lot of people aren't going to be happy about that. Fortnite, well, listen, I don't play Fortnite, and I'm not in the Chinese region, so it doesn't affect me at all. But it's definitely an interesting situation. We have the Rust accident to talk about, and Ubisoft, yikes, play-to-earn mechanics in games. We've seen a lot of bad mechanics over the years put into games that companies hope they're going to make a lot of money off of, that they hope are going to be successful. Play to earn. Well, it sounds like a great concept and a good idea. Its execution probably won't be as good as the idea that they're presenting to us. But hi guys, hope your night's going well. Ubisoft games are all the same. I can't remember the last Ubisoft game I've played. They're too samey and forgettable. I agree to a certain extent. I do feel like a lot of Ubisoft games have the same feeling to them. I mean, obviously, a lot of them have different themes and characters and stories, but I do agree that usually when I play a Ubisoft game, I'm like, yeah, I get it. Are those claims true, or are they trying to find a scapegoat? Feels like it's trending on the latter. The thing is we don't know what information is true and false at this point, but there have been a couple of different pieces of information put out there that have been true. I mean, if we look at things like I'm going to be talking about, like the situation where crew members were warning producers about people's attitudes on the set of the movie, yeah, that's true. There were a lot of safety concerns, and there was a lot of, we'll just call it fuckery going on the set of Rust. People putting bullets into the gun to shoot cans on set, that's true. People not checking to see if it was actually loaded or not, that's true. I'm definitely not sitting here pointing the blame at anyone, because we haven't been given all of the information on the situation right now, but I made an initial video on it, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit more. YouTube hates talking about situations like this, so I haven't been making too many videos on it, mainly because even if, you know, it wasn't monetized or anything, YouTube would still suppress it because they don't want anyone talking about the situation. So it is what it is. I'm just going to mainly cover Rust in live streams, in the discussion streams, like tonight. We're not going to be talking about all of the information that's come out because, again, a lot of it, we don't really know if it's true. Some of it sounds like it could be true, but it might not be. So I really don't want to talk about a lot of those rumors and speculations going around. But yeah. Let me scroll up for a minute. Did you see Dr. Disrespect's take on Halo Infinite? No. Last time I heard, it was like a Dextera article. He said that, like, he doesn't think it's gonna be successful or something like that. But besides that, I don't know anyone's take on like anything. That's the way it goes. All I know is my take, which is, I want Halo Infinite to be successful, but it feels like from the gameplay that I've seen, from the like closed alpha beta testing trailers we've seen, it seems like they have tried to dumb it down to be so much like a Call of Duty that it's going to lose its individuality. I obviously haven't played it yet, so I do not know, but it looks like they have really dumbed it down and kind of taken away a lot of the features that people see as kind of classic Halo. It seems like they tried to streamline it a little bit more, so maybe the learning curve would be easier for people, but we'll have to see. I obviously want it to be successful. I love Halo. I hope it's really good. Will it be, though? That is a completely different story. A complete different story. So, I will be playing it when it releases in December. Unless they delayed it again. At this point in time, it's December. And when it releases, I'll be streaming it. The campaign and multiplayer. But yeah. I love Apex and Fall Guys, but people's hard-on for BR is just obnoxious and tiresome at this point. I like Battle Royales, don't get me wrong. But I feel like we've seen a lot of them now. Over the past, like, I don't know, 2 years, we've seen so many release. It's extremely tiring to see every single game have, like, a Battle Royale side mode, or all of it's Battle Royale. It's very, okay, can we get over this trend maybe a little bit? I still like Battle Royales, and I still want companies to make them. Maybe you could throw in, like, a campaign every once in a while, though. Halo's going to be fine without Battle Royale. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that a game needs Battle Royale to be successful. Obviously, Battle Royales are extremely popular right now. When it comes to something like Halo, yeah, if they made a Battle Royale for Halo, a lot of people would play it. It would draw in a lot of consumers. But at the same time, not every single franchise needs a Battle Royale. Maybe they could, like, release Halo Infinite now in, like, December, release the multiplayer, the campaign, blah, 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 and maybe in, like, another year between Halo Infinite and then the Halo game that will be after that, maybe they could release a standalone Battle Royale. I don't think that that would be a bad idea, but I personally don't like when companies now are completely scrapping games just to focus on a Battle Royale. I do not like that. It is, I mean, that's their choice, so it kind of is what it is, but I think that Halo will be fine without a Battle Royale. I don't think that it needs a BR to be successful or to be good. But alright, guys, let's get into the first topic of the evening, which is going to be about The Mandalorian. Now, you guys know, I've watched The Mandalorian, and I know a lot of people have as well, but after they fired Gina Carano over her political opinion, I definitely think a lot of people will be not watching the next season of The Mandalorian. A lot of people are very still upset about Gina Carano being fired, and rightfully so. I definitely understand it. I don't think that she should have gotten fired for simply having a political opinion and posting it on social media, but we've seen only a couple, actors from The Mandalorian come forward and talk about Gina Carano after she got fired. Obviously, a lot of them are probably very afraid to talk about Gina Carano because they don't want to be fired from The Mandalorian or Star Wars as well. They don't want to be blacklisted from an industry simply for making a statement on an actor that they worked with. A lot of people want to obviously protect their careers, and I understand that, but Giancarlo Esposito has come forward during a Q&A session, and he briefly mentioned Gina Carano, saying his favorite The Mandalorian co-star to work with was Gina, which is something we've seen a lot of. It's kind of like a trend because most of the people that have come forward talking about Gina Carano that worked with her have said she was a great person. She was fantastic to work with. She was a sweetheart. She was nice. She was kind. She was caring. She was just an overall very good person to be around and work around, which is great to hear. But, of course, there's a lot of people that don't like her, that of course, say, oh, her political opinion isn't right for me, so we've got to cancel her and attack her and get her fired from The Mandalorian, which unfortunately happened. But it says the Mandalorian actor who plays Moff Gideon in the show revealed that his favorite co-star to work with was Gina Carano. It's very unfortunate that she was fired because he's someone who's a reoccurring actor. He's, you know, obviously a pretty large actor in the entertainment industry now, but he can't work with this actress that he really liked anymore. We don't know what they're gonna do with, obviously, Cara Dune. Now, we don't know if they're gonna mention her, if they're gonna recast her, if they're gonna act like she never existed. We have no clue what they're gonna do at this point with her character. But apparently, there are a lot of actors who wanted to work with her again. It says Esposito appeared at Fan Expo Denver 2021 over the weekend, where he did about an hour-long sit-down Q&A session. I unfortunately haven't gotten a chance to watch all of it yet, but I watched a lot of it. It says during that Q&A session, a fan dressed as the Mandalorian asked, in The Mandalorian, who is your favorite coworker to work with? I think that this is automatically a pretty interesting question for someone to ask, because I feel like most actors would just say the quote-unquote right answer, you know? Like, they'd say, oh, it was Pedro Pascal, you know? Because, of course, he's the main actor. You know, Disney has a lot of focus on him with The Mandalorian, so you'd think, like, oh, he just kind of give the basic, you know, most safe answer, but he didn't. It says, he answered, my goodness, okay, so you're asking me for one. Okay, so you're asking me for one. Yeah, I have to say this, and maybe, well, okay, I'll say it without hesitation. Gina Carano. She went through a lot over the last year, and I'm not going to weigh in on any of that in particular, other than her political beliefs or whatever she said, whether I think it's inappropriate or, you know, appropriate or not. So he's basically saying, you know, I had a great time working with her. Without hesitation, she was my favorite person to work with, but I'm not going to make any statements on what she said over the past year, the situation that happened, which obviously is the safe direction for an actor to go in. I think it's, you know, a little bit of it's a tough situation, because I would want this actor to just say, yeah, you know, she was fired, it sucks, I don't support it, it is what it is. But of course, again, they want to protect their bottom line, they want to protect their careers, so they're going to say, yeah, listen, I'm not going to make any statements. I'm not going to, you know, talk about what her political beliefs are. I'm not going to comment on if they're inappropriate or appropriate. I'm just going to say, yeah, she was great to work with. But it says, right, we as actors, yeah, we probably sometimes, I know for me, I should just shut my mouth, but sometimes I can't, and I've got to say what I believe because it has to go on the record. So he's basically saying, yeah, as actors, sometimes we know we should shut our mouths, we shouldn't make any statements, we should just kind of keep our opinions to ourselves, but I believe what I believe, and if I want to go on record for it, great. If I don't, okay. He says, I loved working with her. She's warm and beautiful and wonderful, and I don't care what her politics are. I love the fact that she came to acting late and she was so raw and original and beautiful, and I just think she's a lovely person. So I shout her out and I say she's one of my favorites. I actually think that this is a pretty great thing to say, because he's saying, I don't care what her politics are, she's just a great person overall, which is the way that the world should work, you know? Should it matter, you know, if his political beliefs and her political beliefs align 100%? No, it shouldn't. People should just be nice human beings to each other. But I think that this is just a great statement, because he's saying, I don't care about her politics. On set, she was a great person. She's great at acting. You know, she's a warm, beautiful, wonderful person to be around. She made the set so much better, so much easier to deal with. And that's obviously what you want to hear out of actors. Not that they're having a hell of a time behind set, not that they're, you know, fighting with other actors and there's lots of drama and issues. You want to hear these great positive situations. And from what we've heard from all the other actors that have come out and talked about Gina Carano, most of them had said, yeah, she's a great person to work with and she's great to be around. But it says, aside from Carano, he also noted that another of his favorite actors was Lateef Crowder. He explained second favorite won the Emmy. He was in the suit when we did our whole big huge fight, and I find physical disciplines are really important because they lead to intellectual disciplines. They lead to disciplines that I've been talking about a lot tonight, of holding yourself accountable to do something for you. He said, every single day for me, I go to any set, I try to sit and pray, meditate, try to do something physical, try to make sure I've taken care of me before I go to my work, which is also taking care of me. So he kind of talked about, you know, the success of The Mandalorian, his thoughts on these other actors, people that he liked to work with. I feel like that was kind of the more basic answer that Lucasfilm was probably hoping for, but he did voice his enjoyment with working with Gina Carano, and I think that's great. I don't think that actors should feel afraid to say, hey, I really liked working with this person, and of course, I voiced my stance on the Gina Carano situation many times, but I do not think she should have gotten fired from The Mandalorian simply for having a political opinion that she posted on social media. I do not believe that someone should be fired over that. Especially when other actors like Pedro Pascal have voiced their political opinions on social media, told people to fuck off if you don't like my political opinion, and he is still working for the company. So that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic. I like to occasionally talk about Gina Carano situations that happen, just because, you know, I don't think she should have gotten fired, and I think that it's so important to talk about, you know, situations exactly like this when they arise. So that's all that I had to discuss with that. I'll move into the Ubisoft topic in just a minute. If you guys have any thoughts on this topic, feel free to leave them in chat. Diversity is their strength, but not minorities who don't drink the woke Kool-Aid. Yeah, listen, I'm not drinking the woke Kool-Aid anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, he has political opinions, at least from what he's voiced on social media, that are very different than Gina Carano's. And he's not sitting here saying, oh, she's a piece of shit, she was an awful person, I'm glad she's gone. No, he's saying she was great to work with on set. You know, basically, I might not agree with all of her political opinions, but, you know, people should be allowed to voice them, which I think is great. I haven't seen too many of his political opinions on social media. I've seen a couple of them, though, but from what I understand with Esposito, he's not someone who goes on social media and says, my opinion's, you know, the right opinion, and everyone should agree with my opinion. He just kind of voices his opinion and goes on his way, which is what you probably should do if you want to put your political opinions on social media when you're an actor and someone who is large in entertainment and also the gaming industry. But it's good to hear, you know, actors saying, hey, I might not agree with their opinion, but she was a great human being to work with. Gina was fired and Disney forced her agency to cut ties with her. Agency's the one who brings the job for the actor. She was cut out from the industry. Yeah, I mean, it was never confirmed that Disney forced her agency to cut ties with her, but a lot of people do believe that they did it because they didn't want to get on the bad side of Disney. It's like, in my video today, I talked about with the Eternals. With reviewers, usually they give companies like Disney very few and far between negative reviews because they're afraid of losing, you know, the chance to see movies early and to review them early. So usually they give them pretty decent reviews, even if they don't genuinely like movies. It's what happens, though. People are afraid of losing their jobs, getting kicked out of an industry, being blacklisted by big companies, and it happens. Gina's knee-jerk reaction to agree to make a movie with Ben Shapiro's fledgling movie production like 2 days after the news was she was fired by Lucasfilm. I don't think that it was a knee-jerk reaction. When you're in a situation like that, and you're talking to larger names like Ben Shapiro, who has an opportunity for you, I don't necessarily view it as a knee-jerk reaction because she probably knew for months and months and months and months and months and months and months that she was going to be fired, okay? You don't just make a big deal like that only a couple days after that situation, and she knew that a lot of people were trying to get her fired, and there was a lot of rumors that behind the scenes they were basically egging her on to make more statements so that they could fire her. So I have a feeling that she probably talked to people like Shapiro earlier than the date that she got fired. I bet that she probably talked to them months in advance, even if only briefly, or got to know these people. I mean, look at the Chappelle situation. Dave Chappelle is being blacklisted by the entertainment industry right now, and when that happens, you know, what are you going to do? Are you going to start your own company, or are you going to try and work with another individual or company that already has a foot in the industry? It's unfortunate. Again, I don't believe that she should have been fired or anything or been put into this situation, but it's the way that it played out, and, you know, it was her choice to go and work with Ben Shapiro, and good for her. That's what she wanted to do, and I mean, good for her. I'm not gonna tear down what she did, or the decision she made. Clearly, she made it because she felt like it was a great opportunity. We don't know what went into that deal, so, yeah. I don't really think that she made a mistake. You know, you do. That's okay. It's your opinion. We don't know how much she got paid for that deal or what she's getting out of the deal, so it's probably quite a bit. But yeah. I don't think Gina's going to Shapiro's film was knee-jerk. I'm sure she knew her time was limited with Disney and she probably had bills to pay. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, even actors are just people that are working. I talk about it all the time. Maybe, you know, bigger actors like a Scarlett Johansson could get $55 million instead of $60 million so other people can get paid. But they're, at the end of the day, they're still people that need to get paid and people who are part of an industry, and they make decisions based on their life, you know? She probably, knew that she was gonna get fired. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she knew she was gonna get fired, so she just came up with a backup plan. I mean, that movie's filming schedule conflicts with filming for Mando season 3, so her deciding to do that movie to nowhere has made it impossible for her to return for Mando season 3. Well, the thing is that when we initially heard that she had been fired, she wasn't under contract with Disney anymore. She was only under contract for season 1 and season 2. She wasn't even, like, she hadn't even signed a contract to do a season 3. So technically, it's not that they fired her, they just said, we're not going to work with her anymore. I talked about that in my initial video about the situation, but she wasn't under contract anymore. So she knew that come the end of Mandalorian season 3, or season 2, she probably wasn't going to be working for them anymore. She probably had that already planned out, that she just was going to go somewhere else because they clearly were looking for a reason to fire her and not work with her. But alright, you guys, let's move into the next topic of the evening, which is going to be Ubisoft. Now, I feel like Ubisoft over the years has kind of fallen off. I haven't really played a lot of Ubisoft games over the past couple of years, the past 2 or 3 years, but I'm always for companies trying to develop new ideas and new systems for games and come up with something new and unique for the gaming industry. Obviously, the gaming industry is one of the largest industries. It's massive. And eventually, companies are going to come up with something new and unique and fresh. But Ubisoft has come up with a new idea and is announcing new plans that definitely sound interesting, to say the least. This is a gamer article. It says Ubisoft is looking at play-to-earn blockchain games. Ubisoft plans to implement a pay-to-earn system in its future games by utilizing blockchain technology. Now, initially, the statement play-to-earn doesn't necessarily sound bad. I mean, when you think of play to earn, at least for me, I'm thinking of, okay, I'm going to play the game and I'm going to earn different things throughout my experience. But we don't have a lot of information on this, so I can't judge it too much yet. But this doesn't really sound, at least in my opinion, to be very promising once you hear some of the few details we have. So it says Ubisoft is not only invested in blockchain and mobile tech company Animoca brands, but as spotted by IB Times, it has announced that it seeks to use blockchain technology in its own games. It says blockchain will enable more players to earn, that will blockchain will enable more play to earn, that will enable more players to actually earn content, own content, and we think it's going to grow the industry quite a lot, the chief financial officer said. We've been working with lots of small companies going on blockchain, and we're starting to have a good know-how on how it can impact the industry, and we want to be one of the key players here. Again, I'm all for companies trying new things, coming up with new ideas, but they're basically saying that this will enable players to play to earn more. They'll earn content, they'll own content, and we think it's going to grow the industry quite a lot. Now it says gaming is centralized, which means everything from skins to currency is held within the actual build itself. You don't own the game or any part of it, you own a copy. However, blockchain splits games into segments, letting players buy and own certain parts. It makes the digital tangible in that it has real monetary value. This is typically done through NFTs and cryptocurrency, although Ubisoft never used the term NFT in its announcement. Now, it's obviously very important, as it says, to note that Ubisoft never used the term NFT in its announcement, but it sounds very similar to all of these things. Okay, now when it comes to blockchain, they still have to maintain the blockchain. And if that blockchain disappears, so does the content that people own. The blockchain Ubisoft, okay, maintains doesn't just live on forever. That's the problem here. It's like a server, okay? It's first and foremost why I always go to GOG to buy games. Listen, I know GOG hasn't been the best lately. I still like GOG, I still use GOG, and I still support GOG. Okay, I can get the files for a base game and patches and updates and keep them forever. I can download those files, and no one can ever take that away from me. What they're proposing here is still locked to an online system. It's not a bad idea, and I'm not saying they shouldn't try it. If they want to try it, go for it. But they're trying to reel people in by saying one thing when it's another. They're saying, oh, you're going to own parts of a game. You're going to own this content. You're going to be able to earn content. And, oh, it's going to grow the industry. Honestly, it just kind of sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. Okay? NFTs, they're successful, but I don't think they took off like I think the people behind them thought they would. NFTs are, you know, typically compared to collectibles, yet I completely disagree with that comparison, because at least with collectibles, like, you own a physical item, and if an NFT loses value or no one wants to buy it, it's literally nothing but an image on a website. The comparison of NFTs, oh my gosh, drink every time I say NFTs. If an NFT, you know, again, loses value, or something like that, I mean, it's kind of nothing. It's literally just like, again, an image on a website. And the comparison of NFTs to crypto is stupid, because crypto is actually based on a one-to-one monetary value. And yes, like stocks, the values go up and the values go down. I don't do cryptocurrency or NFTs or any of it, but it's based on direct monetary value. And with NFTs, there's not a set value. And again, if it goes down, it goes down. I understand sort of kind of what Ubisoft wants to do here. It's hard because they didn't really give that many details, because it doesn't sound like they're ready to fully announce it yet. It's just kind of something that people caught on to on the internet and saw them make a brief statement on. So it's hard to fully judge kind of the scope and the scale of what they want to do. And I don't want to like prejudge it too much, but to me, it just kind of sounds like bullshit. I don't know. I'm curious to know everyone else's opinion on it. Again, though, like I've said, I'm not someone who dabbles in NFTs or crypto or anything like that. But it says it's a controversial method because of the environment impact cryptocurrency has. Alongside NFTs, they're responsible for millions of tons of carbon dioxide emissions due to energy consumption linked with mining. Of course, this article is gonna just dive right into that. It says, to put it into perspective, the Nyan Cat NFT had a carbon footprint on par with someone's electricity usage over the span of 2 months. Yeah, Okay, of course, this article is going to bring that up. But it says, however, it is using the term pay to earn, so it's likely players will be able to somehow buy and trade skins and other in-game items as NFTs for cryptocurrency. That kind of sounds like the direction they want to go in. It says, for now, all we can do is speculate, but Ubisoft has made its plans known. What this means for its relationship with Steam is unclear, given that Valve had banned all NFT and blockchain games from its platform. And I wanted to read this article, or read this paragraph from this article really quickly. I don't want to read any of this other article because it's kind of a dumb article, but it says he knows what an NFT is, and regardless of how environmentally damaging these particular TikTok NFTs are, it's a worrying sign that so many industries are moving to legitimize a business model that, try as I might, I can only ever see as fictional. NFTs are based on made-up ownership. It's like owning the stars or a bridge. You don't, not really, which is my biggest problem with this announcement, because it's like they're trying to say, oh, you're actually gonna own something and you're gonna have, you know, ownership of this content, yet it's just bullshit. It's all bullshit. Just like when they tell you, oh yeah, buy this game and you own it forever, it's not really true. They can take away that license anytime they want. They can take away your copy and your access whenever they want. So we don't have a lot of details on this situation right now, but it's definitely something I'm going to be keeping an eye on, and I will be talking about more once we have a better idea of what they want to do. I don't know, truly, what's going to happen with this situation. But it just, again, kind of sounds like something they're starting to toy with announcing. They haven't made, like, some big, giant announcement on it yet, but we'll see. I'm sure they will eventually here. So, yeah, that's all that I really had to talk about with that. Next, we're going to move into Fortnite, everyone's favorite video game. And before your graphics card meltdown for playing the game. Yeah. Oh, graphics cards. Is Ubisoft's new play to earn basically the same as EA's live service BS? It just means the dev don't have to finish the game, and they promise to add more gameplay later, hard pass. That was a terrible situation. I mean, it is a terrible situation. I don't really trust EA. I don't really trust EA. I play very few EA games now, actually. Like, I play Apex, and that's EA and Respawn. But honestly, like, what else do I play that's EA? I play Star Wars: The Old Republic, which is EA, and that's it, kind of. That bad for the environment argument is ridiculous considering how many tweets are sent in a day, but no one ever frets over Twitter. True. Obviously, I think that the environment is important, okay? Obviously, I think it's important to acknowledge that everything's getting fucked up. But do I foresee everyone completely doing a 180 and changing their lifestyle to fix the planet we have? No, honestly, I don't. I'd love to have more faith in humans. I'd love to have more faith in humanity. I truly would. But I'm also sitting here with, like, you know, sucking up energy. I do think it's important to acknowledge that things exist like global warming and stuff, but again, do I see everyone doing a 180? No, I really don't. When we're all given free, you know, free hybrid cars and we're saving the world and, you know, everything's different, hit me up. But is that going to happen in our lifetime? Probably not, no. It's like how states are trying to ban cars, certain cars. It's like, okay, give us new free cars then. How about that? Feel free to send me a Tesla in the mail. I'll get rid of my gas guzzler anytime. But you're going to have to give me the free Tesla. Anyway. Just like that lawyer selling land on the moon. Yeah, it's like buying stars and stuff, as the second article, that paragraph that I read had said. It's like when you get a certificate for owning a star. It's like, okay, sure. It's all bullshit. I hope Fortnite shuts down. Ooh, tough words. Ooh. I don't ever really call for things to be shut down. Like a Fortnite, I'm not gonna call for like Fortnite to be shut down because people do like it. People do enjoy it. I don't play Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite, but I'm not gonna call for people to, you know, get it shut down and stuff. But yeah, I don't like Fortnite either. I'm sure you guys already know that. I could never get into Fortnite. I tried to play it for like a short amount of time. Because why not? I did not like it. Are you 18 gamers? Oh, under 18 gamers, big spenders? I don't think the regulation isn't that impactful to the dev income. Yeah. I mean, look at games that are kid-centric, like a Roblox. Look at how much money that brings in. I mean, look at Fortnite. I mean, a huge portion of Fortnite's audience are kids. Or people under 18. Parents buy V-Bucks. That's what they're... Yeah, V-Bucks. Or microtransactions for them all the time. They are a very important part to, you know, games' successes, especially a game like Fortnite. Obviously, not only kids play things like Fortnite, but a lot of kids do play Fortnite. I missed the boat on Fortnite. I couldn't get into it. The only battle royale I play is Apex. I really like Apex. New Apex season today. By the way, guys, Thursday, I'm going to be doing an Apex stream. Fortnite is cringe. My problem with saying a game is cringe is that anyone could view any game as cringe. Like, I could be playing Apex and someone could call it cringe. I don't like Fortnite because I don't like the map. I don't like the gameplay. You not only have to be a good shooter, a third-person shooter, you also have to have, like, this great building skill, and I personally just didn't like a lot of the systems. But yeah. China's allergic to fun, actually a fact. Best fact I've heard tonight, actually true. All the politicians who went to that climate change event all went in private jets. Listen, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and give my political opinions on specific, okay, politicians, but honestly, I mean, it's the perfect basis for jokes and for criticism, right? Like, they go to an event about climate change and healing the earth, and they're all flying in their private jets, their own special fancy luxury cars. I just think it's definitely telling. You know, or you could fall asleep at the event. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Not my cup of tea, fair enough. Fortnite is not for everyone. I mean, there's games that are not for everyone. Every game is not for everyone. But alright, guys, we're gonna move on to the next topic of the evening, which is gonna be Fortnite. Now, I don't talk a lot about Fortnite on the channel, mainly because I do not like Epic Games, and I do not like Fortnite. It's just not a combination that I like to talk about a lot. But there's actually some pretty big news regarding Fortnite and Epic, because I have two articles to read on this, because Fortnite is shutting down in China. Oops. The latest foreign video game to face off with regulators and surrender. This is actually pretty big news. If you guys do not know, Tencent does own stakes in Epic Games, and this is actually a pretty big situation. It says Epic Games, the developer behind Fortnite, stopped all new user registrations on Monday while the game server will shut down completely on November 12th, the company announced on its website. Epic, headquartered in North Carolina, didn't specify a reason for the closure, but thanked all the Fortnite China players who boarded the Battle Pass bus and participated in the test run with us. So Fortnite was never officially released in China, okay? As you guys know, a lot is not allowed in the Chinese region when it comes to entertainment and video games. So they basically had to create a sanitized version of Fortnite, and then they were trying to release it. So they basically made a whole nother version of Fortnite. They were beta testing it in the region to see how many players would participate in the game, how many players would play it, how much money basically they can make off of microtransactions and battle pass sales. They basically released a beta for Fortnite in the region to test run how successful it would be. But apparently, all of the new regulations that have been announced for the Chinese region are not going that well. And companies like Epic are not taking them like champs. So, it says, the reasons for Fortnite's closure are likely both recent and long-standing. We do not know the official reason why they are canceling, basically, Fortnite in China. They're not going forward with it. There's a lot of reasons why, but it kind of boils down to rules and regulations. It says Beijing in recent months cracked down on gaming, and the extremely difficult climate for game studios in China right now is the likeliest reason for Fortnite shutting down in the country, says a CEO and founder of a consultancy, Contan Games. Toto adds that a whopping 103 days have passed since the new game have been officially approved for release. Given the recent signals from the Chinese government, the drought might continue. Yeah, it has been months since they've approved any games. I talked about this a couple streams ago, or a couple discussion streams ago. China does this where they don't accept any new games because they become extremely picky. And of course, I'm sure that they'll go back to approving new games soon. But it's been months since they've accepted any new games, and it doesn't look like it's stopping at least anytime soon. It says the current tough climate for game studios, especially foreign ones, has compounded what was already a problematic situation for Fortnite. Fortnite, as Fortnite is known in China, was originally introduced to the Chinese market in 2018, but regulatory approval for the full launch in the country never materialized. It's not even called Fortnite in China, it's called Fortnite. Which I definitely doesn't have a ring to it. It says Fortnite's lack of an official license to fully operate means the games couldn't be monetized through features like in-app purchases. The lack of revenue probably set the stage for Epic and its China partner Tencent to close the game when faced with Beijing's gaming crackdown, said another senior analyst. Now, I've talked about it a lot here on the channel, but the gaming industry in the Chinese gaming industry is extremely strict when it comes to content. And over the past couple of weeks, we've seen a lot change. We've seen a lot of their guidelines get even stricter, okay? If you are under the age of 18, now you can only play 3 hours of video games a week, and it has to be on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or on a public holiday. Not even on your birthday. You can't even fucking play a video game on your birthday for an hour. You get an hour a day on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Doesn't matter what you're doing. That is the time you are allowed. That obviously cracks down a lot when it comes to under 18s playing games, because now, instead of playing maybe 3 hours a day, let's say 4 days out of the week, you can only play for 1 hour a day, only on 3 days a week, which clearly is going to be a problem, because then you have kids deciding, what am I going to play during that time, okay? Am I going to play Fortnite, or am I going to play Pokemons, okay? Am I going to play, what am I going to play? Am I going to play Pac-Man? Okay, what am I going to play? Because I only have an hour for 3 days a week. That's definitely going to cut down on the amount of players you get in any game, because there's only a certain amount of time, so you really want to pick carefully. Another situation is microtransactions. Obviously, companies put as many microtransactions they can into games as possible because they want to make money. Microtransactions make them a shit ton of money, and that's why they do it. But there's limits for spending in the Chinese region. If you are under the age of 18, you can only spend so much money. I believe it's a month or a year on games. It's a very small amount. So microtransaction spending limits have also been changed as well. They've been made more strict. And of course, another big reason why I think they decided to shut down Fortnite in the region is because of development power. Okay, they made a basically fully sanitized version of Fortnite for the Chinese region. They obviously have a lot of developers working on that, changing it and making it the proper quote-unquote game for the Chinese region and for the Chinese censors to accept. So, of course, a lot of development power goes into making a sanitized version of the game, because it's not like you're taking the version that releases in North America and you're just copy and pasting it to another region. No, you have to change a bunch of things. You have to make sure things are very different. So, of course, they have to pay people to fix that and to change that. And if they're not making enough money, why are they going to pay developers to keep, you know, to keep updating this game? So I think it's definitely a very how do I explain it, like a lot of reasons. I definitely think there's a lot that went behind their decision to remove Fortnite from the region. But it says earlier this year, a Chinese state-run newspaper decried online games as spiritual opium. And a few weeks later in August, Beijing cracked down on the video game industry when China's National Press and Publication Administration restricted children's video game playing time to no more than 3 hours per week. Gaming firms should fully recognize the importance and urgency to tackle video game addiction, which has affected, children's studies and normal life. I call it bullshit. When it comes to video game addiction, anyone can get addicted to literally anything, okay? I could be addicted to reading this website's articles, okay? Fortune.com. Oh my god, I could be addicted. I could be addicted to playing games. I could be addicted to gambling. I could be addicted to drinking Coca-Cola. Okay? Hopefully not being addicted to doing coke. But you can get addicted to anything. And I don't think that, I've talked about it, I don't really buy this whole, we need to tackle video game addiction by literally making it so kids can't play games anymore. I think that games, yes, can be something people can get addicted to and definitely throw their real life to the side to play games. But at the same time, there have been so many studies that, that show that video games are very positive for kids. It helps with social skills. It helps with development. Gaming is great. Not everyone's going to be playing a Left 4 Dead or a Fortnite. Not everyone's going to be playing an Apex. Not everyone's going to be playing a Call of Duty. There are so many games out there that are truly amazing, and gaming is a very good thing for people. And so I don't really believe in this whole, there's this importance and urgency to tackle video game addiction. I call it bullshit, just like Ubisoft's new not NFT situation. So guys, another quick thing that I wanted to reference about the Fortnite situation is Yahoo, because the article doesn't mention it. Hello? Can you not close the article? Thank you, Jesus Christ. Yahoo News. U.S. internet services company Yahoo said on Tuesday it is pulled out of mainland China, becoming the largest tech firm to withdraw as a crackdown by Beijing on the industry gathers pace. So it's not even just a company like Epic, okay? Not even just a company like them. There's companies like Yahoo that are pulling out of the region because of this crackdown on tech and on things like gaming. Basically crackdowns on literally everything. I mean, what isn't cracked down upon in China? Besides going in the street and yelling, I love China, China #1. But, as it says, the move comes just days after American gaming giant Epic said it will shut down its popular game Fortnite, following the imposition of strict curbs on the world's biggest gaming market. It says Beijing has embarked on a wide-ranging regulatory clampdown on a number of industries in a drive to tighten its control on the economy. Okay, I tripped over my words. Control of the economy, with tech firms taking the brunt. So it's not just even companies like Epic, okay? We're talking about companies like Yahoo throwing in the towel, saying, you know what? We're done as well. So that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic. Of course, when there's more updates, I will definitely be discussing it more with you guys. But for now, that's all the information we have. So, yeah. Really quickly, guys, if you're enjoying the live stream, make sure to give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Consider becoming a member of the channel. You get access to special emotes, a special badge next to your name, special join messages. Feel free to donate via Streamlabs. All donations pop up. $3 or more text-to-speech activates. But mainly, give the stream a like. Check out the links in the description. All that fun stuff. I am going to move into the next topic in just a minute. This is going to be a pretty quick topic just because there's not a lot of information on it. But it's new, and I really wanted to talk about it because a lot of people are upset about it, and I completely understand why. So, yes, tech companies need to pull out of China. I agree. And it's the parents' job to set limits with their kids. That is something that I 100% agree with. I mentioned it in many, many videos on China and on things like gaming addiction. I do not believe it's the government's job to say what a child can and can't do. I think that that should be solely up to parents. I think that parents should be able to decide, is my kid gonna play video games today? Is my kid gonna, you know, play video games for 5 hours a day or 1 hour a day? I think that that should be up to the parents, not a fucking government. China, not number one. Let me reach out, though. Thought it was a paywall. Honestly, I see so many fucking articles that I click on and it's paywalled and I just have to go to archive.org. Man, if archive.org did not exist, guys, life would be very different. Imagine how much fucking money people would have to spend to read one gosh darn article. Like, just imagine. That would be actually terrible. But yes, I believe that it is a parent's job to take care of a child and decide what a child can and can't do, not a government. You know, like I had mentioned, and I'll mention again, you know, maybe the money these companies in gaming and Hollywood saw and we're hoping to get is just inaccessible at this point. Because of all the Chinese regulations, there's no way for them to get that money. China is closing down their economy with regulations, and that's pretty clear. And I think we're going to see other companies do what Epic is doing. I truly do, and, you know, I think we're going to see more tech companies do what Yahoo's doing. Do I think it's going to happen today or tomorrow? No, but I think it will eventually happen. And I think we're going to see a lot of companies change their tune with the market. Because at this point, they've dedicated so much. Yes, they don't want to just give up because they're still hoping they can make that money, but I think they're gonna eventually realize this is a waste of time for us and we should probably go back to doing what we were doing. Remember old school Blizzard? That was the shit. Old school Blizzard was the shit. It's a shame that they are not the shit anymore. It is a shame that they've done so much and changed so much that so many people do not agree with. I wish that they would magically go back to the company they were. I really, really do. But unfortunately, that is not the case. And my big fat cat is going into a tiny box, which reminds me, he literally... Okay, guys, so this came in the mail today. I'm going to show you guys this book, right? It's a chonky book. I'll show it to you guys in a minute. This book came in a box that wasn't much bigger than the book itself. Okay? My cat that's 20 pounds is trying to flatten out the box, and he can't. So he's going to lay in the box that is literally the size of this book. Hey! What you doing? He's like, oh, can I help you? Oh, brother. Anyway, guys, I'll show this to you really quickly. So, Oron had got this for me. He knows I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. I was talking about this book. I've been talking about this for a while. You guys know. I'm sure you do. I love Lord of the Rings. I love Tolkien. And I think his work is amazing. They released a special edition of the Lord of the Rings books, but it's actually got illustrations that Tolkien did himself, which I think is super freaking cool. I'll show you guys like the side and the front. So this is the side. Look at that shit. That is so fucking cool. And this is the front. This thing is so fucking cool. It is actually very heavy though, and I actually hate the fact that I think that this is heavy. But it's actually really fucking cool. And there's like maps in it and stuff. I was thinking about, I'm gonna take pictures of it. I'm gonna show pictures of it probably in Discord, maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll do like a short video showing off some of the illustrations, just because it's extremely cool. But like here's what he drew for Rivendell. I don't want to drop this. Like, look at that. That is super cool. It's very very cool. There's no way I can get that cat on stream. He's not the type to be held, and he's also not the type that will sit in a lap, unfortunately. Fat cat in a box, actually true though. There's probably a rap about that. Most likely. Oh no. All the jokes about the elves. Guys, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna do one thing really. I have to change a setting real quick. And then we'll go on to the next topic. Listen, I don't want to talk about what they're gonna do with Lord of the Rings, okay? I don't wanna talk about the Amazon series. I don't want my heart to break. I really don't. What's heavier, the cat or the book? The cat, obviously. But the book is just a cut. Well, it's 3. What the fuck just popped? Why is there sports on my homepage? Ew. But clearly the cat is heavier. It's just that book, it's 3 books in one, so it's very chonky. I can't show the chonky boy. He left anyway. He couldn't fit in it. Vera's like a young female nerdrotic, but without all the drugs in the 80s. I think that Vera is like a Vera. Someone who just loves gaming and entertainment and Tolkien. Even though that stand H.P. Lovecraft. Love H.P. Lovecraft's work. That's gonna get me canceled one day for sure. The Amazon series sounds like a disaster. It truly does. And I obviously, I hope it comes out and I hope it's amazing. I hope it's great. I hope it's fantastic. But it definitely sounds like it's gonna be a giant disaster. So, yeah. I hope it is great. But, my cat just knocked something over in the other room because he is also actually very, very upset that, I gave away his secret that he was trying to get in the box, and now he's literally knocking things down in the next room. He's actually very upset that I told you guys he was trying to get in the box and he's too big for it. He's actually offended that I just body shamed him, so he's going into the other room and knocking like a candle over. It's not lit, but I don't know what he's knocking over, but he's knocking something over, and it sounds heavy. So, I don't body shame your cats, guys. Well, H.P. Lovecraft, let's be honest, was kind of a man of his times. I'm definitely not defending all the things that he ever said or did, but his work was really, really great. Most of his work was really great. And it should be appreciated. Cats have feelings too. Hashtag cat lives matter. More than humans. Let's be honest. Alright guys, so we're going to move on to the next topic. This is going to be a very quick topic because we don't have a lot of information on this, but it's new. I wanted to tell you guys to update you all. Activision Blizzard has definitely not been the best company over the past few years. Hashtag free Hong Kong, revolution of our times. They have done a lot wrong, and they've done a lot that fans and consumers do not like, okay? I used to really like Activision Blizzard, or Blizzard, we'll just say Blizzard, because I used to really like Blizzard. But over the years, they've definitely changed. Ever since the acquisition, they've changed a lot. But, I'm sure you all have been following the news of Blizzard and the lawsuits and all of that. If you haven't, I have videos up on the channel. But now there's a little bit of an... Wow, I just tripped all over all those words. Now there's a little bit of an update regarding Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4, and it's not like full release dates. It's not like, hey, this game's finally gonna come out next month or the month after. No, no. They are delaying Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 indefinitely to a date we don't know. Which is definitely not what people were hoping for. So it says, update on our pipeline. I cannot show this properly. It says, as we have worked with new leadership in Blizzard and within the franchises themselves, particularly in certain key creative roles, it has become apparent that some of the Blizzard content planned for next year will benefit from more development time to reach its full potential. While we are still planning to deliver a substantial amount of content from Blizzard next year, we are now planning for a later launch of Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 than originally envisioned. These are two of the most eagerly anticipated titles in the industry. Okay, guys, way to pat yourselves on the fucking backs. And our teams have made great strides towards completion in recent quarters, but we believe giving the team some extra time to complete production and continue growing their creative resources to support the titles after launch will ensure that these releases delight and engage their communities for many years into the future. These decisions will push out our financial uplift that we had expected to see next year, but we are confident that this is the right course of action for our people, our players, and the long-term success of our franchises. Now, I agree with the general message of this, that they want to create great games, they want to create good content, so they're going to delay it because they need, ultimately, more time to create amazing content. And I will stand by most companies that say things like that, yeah, you know what, guys, I'm sorry, but we really need like another half a year on this game. We want it to come out and be amazing. Because look at something like Cyberpunk. They rushed the shit out of that because everyone wanted it. They wanted to make money. They needed to release it before the holidays last year. And now no one's actually playing it, which is a shame. Because it was a good basis to a game. It just needed a lot of fucking work. But they didn't want games to become like a Cyberpunk. Unfortunately, though, Blizzard can't release a statement without patting themselves on the fucking backs, and they literally say things like, these are the two most eagerly anticipated titles in the industry. Yeah, people are looking forward to the next Diablo game and the next Overwatch game, but people also are hoping that you're just gonna, I don't know, put out a game or content in general at all that's not absolute dog shit. Because Blizzard's put out some pretty bad content over the last few years. Basically what this message translates to is that they're going to be slamming out Call of Duty, World of Warcraft content over the next probably year. And then we'll get Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 eventually. Again, we don't know the official reasons why they're delaying Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4. As they said, maybe they do really need more time. Maybe it's because they fired so many people, and so many people quit that they just can't create the game they want anymore. Maybe it's because they're focused on changing fucking McCree's name in a damn game from years ago instead of actually focusing on the development of a brand new game. I don't know. To me, it seems like there's more important things to worry about than going back and changing a painting of a woman in World of Warcraft to a fucking basket of fruit. It seems to me that there's more important things in their games that they could be doing. But instead they're focusing on changing paintings of women to fruit and changing McCree's name. Obviously a lot of people are pretty disappointed with this, and I agree. I don't really play any Blizzard games actively right now. I've definitely pulled back on the games that I play. I do love Call of Duty, and I've always loved Call of Duty. And, you know, I haven't even over the past year really played that much Call of Duty. I'd played the last one, but I only played it for a couple months, and then I just gave up on it. But people do really like Overwatch. I really liked Overwatch 1. I would love to see Overwatch 2 come out and be good and be successful. But right now, I'm feeling very unhopeful when it comes to Blizzard. And Diablo 4, I would love for Diablo 4 to come out and have it be amazing and really great and have it be a fucking fantastic experience. But again, do I have hope that Blizzard's gonna do that? I really don't. So, Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 have been delayed until who actually fucking knows. Maybe these games will come out in 3 years. Maybe they'll come out next year. But I'm all for companies not releasing a cyberpunk type of game where it's literally buggy and broken and you can't play it, and it's an awful experience. But at the same time, maybe Blizzard should have their teams working on these games instead of going back and changing paintings of women to fruit. So yeah, that's all that I really had to discuss with that topic. And we're going to move into the final topic of the evening, which is going to be the Alec Baldwin situation. At this point, this is what will get my stream completely demonetized, and probably won't go into sub feeds. So guys, if you're enjoying the stream, give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Consider donating via Streamlabs. I appreciate you being here, watching, your support. Follow me on social media, join our Discord. All the links are in the description. Thanks for being here. Overwatch 1 was really good. I thought that it had a lot going for it. I really, really did. Well, I don't know about Overwatch 2. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, I'm not sitting here like, I don't even want to look at it. Because again, 1 had a lot going for it. But, with the state that Blizzard's been in, I don't have a lot of hope or faith in them right now. I'd love for them to turn back into the company they once were, but I don't think that that's gonna happen. I really don't. It's wishful thinking. A lot of people would love for that to happen. I don't think it's going to, though. Unfortunately. I don't know, maybe one day, guys. What do I know? I'm just a dumb girl on the internet who knows nothing. Ooh-woo. I'm still calling him McCree. Yeah. If I played Overwatch again, or if I play 2 whenever it eventually comes out, I would call him McCree as well. Which that will probably be a trigger word, and then if you say McCree in chat, they'll probably ban you for like a week or something, and then after like 3 bans, you get permanently banned. I would get permanently banned within like a week. But alright, you guys, let's move into the final topic of the evening, which is going to be RustNet and Alec Baldwin. Now, I talked about the situation when it initially happened, and it is a very sad, tragic, terrible situation that happened. It is not something that we hear about every day happening, even though accidents on sets of movies do happen fairly often with stunt doubles and, you know, stuntmen and occasionally actors and directors, producers. But if you all did not hear about the initial situation, Alec Baldwin had accidentally killed a cinematographer on his new movie Rust and injured the director. He was told the gun was not loaded. He pointed it to show what he was going to be doing with it, and he fired it. And there's been a lot of speculation as to why do these web pages keep crashing? There's been a lot of speculation regarding whose fault it was, who's gonna get arrested, who's gonna get in trouble for this situation, who's gonna take the blame for it. But crew members on Rust have been coming forward saying that they warned producers about the assistant director and his attitude towards safety, specifically gun safety, on the set of the film, on another film with Machine Gun Kelly. So, it says crew members who worked on the set of Alec Baldwin's Western film Rust have claimed they expressed concern about the assistant director's attitude towards safety when he worked on a previous film. Obviously, when it comes to things like gun safety, things like that should be taken with the utmost seriousness, okay? We're talking about things that can hurt people, and we're talking about things that do need proper safety measures and safety regulations being put into place. Things like gun safety shouldn't be just thrown to the side, and when you're holding a gun, even if it is a fake gun, you should be taking proper, very proper measures with it, safety measures, so that no one gets hurt, and there's no way anyone can be hurt. But it says Dave Halls, who has worked on films such as The Matrix Reloaded and Fargo, was the person who handed Baldwin the gun on October 21st. He told Baldwin the gun was cold, not loaded with live ammunition, and Baldwin pulled the trigger, fatally shooting a cinematographer, Helena Hutchins, who was 42. The film script supervisor, Mommy Mitchell, immediately blamed Halls, saying on the 911 call that he was responsible. Now, I'm not sitting here pointing the blame towards anyone. I'm not sitting here saying this person is the one that should go to jail, this person should go down for the accident, this person is at fault. I'm not sitting here saying that. I'm just trying to sit here and give everyone some of the details, because this is definitely not a situation that we should be pointing fingers when we don't have all of the information and all of the evidence, because it is an extremely, how do I say it? An extremely, I don't know how to say it, like an extremely important situation, something that is terrible, a tragic situation. It says, listen, it sounds like they were a bit hysterical on the call, which clearly, understandably, they ended up calling him a motherfucker. He's supposed to check the guns. He's responsible for what happened. Now, obviously on sets of movies, there are people who are supposed to check the guns, make sure safety measures are being, you know, they're up to standard, and it doesn't sound like he did his job here. It says Halls has since admitted to investigators that he did not check every bullet in the chamber, and questions are also being asked about the actions of the inexperienced armorer, Hannah Reed, who was 24. Obviously, you know, it doesn't seem like fucking rocket science, okay? But when you're given a job to check something, like a gun, to make sure that it's not loaded, and your job is to do things like check every bullet in the chamber, you'd think people would simply do their job. Now, of course, people always want to cut corners, say, oh no, the chances of this happening are slim to none, nothing bad's gonna happen, but there's always a chance if you're not careful. And that's why things like gun safety on sets are so fucking important, because you end up with situations like this, terrible, heartbreaking situations where people get hurt and could die. It says, scrolling down, it shows a couple of the pictures, like the movie set, Baldwin after the situation, the cinematographer. Here's an image. It says a search warrant released Friday said that the armorer laid out 3 prop guns on a cart outside of the filming location, and Baldwin was seen in Vermont on Thursday, having escaped to the New England countryside with his wife and their children following the tragedy on set. It says one crew member who worked with Halls on the set of One Way, which was filmed in Georgia in February, starring Machine Gun Kelly, what a name, said that Halls had sparked alarm during a scene involving cars. The cars were being driven in a field by local people who were not stunt drivers. The crew member told Variety that the move was risky and unprofessional. That man is a liability, the crew member recalled, saying. He's going to fucking kill someone someday, and you're going to be responsible. A second crew member on the film also said there were safety problems involving Halls and vehicles on set, and this person said there was a scene with a car hit that had an inadequate crew, and the background actors were driving cars instead of stunt drivers. They put me in a position of danger, the second crew member told Variety. They're getting the bottom of the barrel, people. And a third crew member confirmed that he had heard about safety issues involving Halls and vehicles from a fourth person on set. So clearly, this person has a bit of a record with breaking rules, not doing things they should, cutting corners. This is someone who doesn't take their fucking job seriously, and these are the types of people that should not be on things like movie sets, because if you're not going to do your job, you shouldn't be there. You should let someone work that actually wants to do their job. And I also wanted to quickly reference this article by bounding into comics that says Rust armorer Hannah Reed issues a statement after Alec Baldwin killed Helena Hutchins on the film's set. A lot of people have been pointing the finger towards her as well, basically saying, you know, she was the armorer. She's the one who laid out the guns. She was also someone who should have checked them to make sure there was no problems, no issues, they weren't loaded or anything. But It says the armorer for the Rust film recently released a statement following the Alec Baldwin shooting. It says her lawyer provided a statement on her behalf to Variety. The statement begins, "First, Hannah would like to extend her deepest and most sincere condolences to the family and friends of Helena. She was an inspirational woman in film who Hannah looked up to. She also offers her thoughts and prayers for a speedy recovery to Joel. She is devastated and completely beside herself over the events that transpired." Now, we've heard a lot over the past 2 weeks about Joel, who is the director, and Helena, who is the cinematographer, but it does sound like she was a great person. It sounds like she was great to family, to friends. She was an inspiration to everyone around her, and it sounds like she was an overall very good, genuine, great person. And that's always the worst thing, is you have this person who has so many people that love them, so many people who admire them, and then, unfortunately, they're taken away too early from the people that love them. It says the statement then claims to want to set the record straight about some untruths that have been told to the media. It reads, "She would like to address some untruths that have been told, which have falsely portrayed her and slandered her. Safety is Hannah's #1 priority on set, and ultimately the set would never have been compromised if live ammo were not introduced." It continued, "She had no idea where the live rounds came from. Hannah and the prop master gained control over the guns, and she never witnessed anyone shoot live rounds with these guns, and nor would she permit that. They were locked up every night and at lunch, and there's no way a single one of them was unaccounted for or being shot by crew members. There were rumors that she was out on set shooting the guns, putting live ammunition into them. They were fucking and screwing around." We don't know if they were fucking around with the guns. It hasn't been, officially confirmed or anything, but it says the statement then claims Reed was working 2 jobs on the set and made it difficult to focus on being the armorer, with blame being put on the production company. I think that this is a very bullshit thing to say, truly, because someone just lost their life, okay? And you are trying to say, well, you know what? I was working 2 jobs. I was a little bit stressed out. No, there is no excuse for not doing your job, especially when someone got hurt and lost their life because of it. It states Hannah was hired on 2 positions on this film, which made it extremely difficult to focus on her job as an armorer. She fought for training days to maintain weapons in proper time to prepare for gunfire, but ultimately was overruled by production and her department. If a company is not doing things like, I don't know, properly taking care of these weapons and, taking care of their crew, why were people working on this in the first place? Because they got money? Okay, we're not talking about, just standing and acting. We're talking about guns, we're talking about cars, we're talking about stunts. These are very intricate things that need to be handled very delicately. The statement adds the whole production set became unsafe due to various factors, including lack of safety meetings, and this was not the fault of Hannah. Which is interesting because we heard the day of this incident, people walked off set and basically said, we're done for now. You either change safety measures around here or we're not coming back. Why wasn't she one of them then? I'm just raising the question because we heard that many, many people walked off set and said, we're not going to come back until you actually take this seriously. So that's my question. Why didn't she walk off set as well and say, I'm not going to be the one to be here and be, accountable when someone gets hurt? It says, the statement adds the whole production set became unsafe. Finally, it concluded Hannah and her legal team will address more of these rumors and the whole incident in an upcoming statement this week. And there was never, or at least so far, there hasn't been another statement made. TMZ reported that multiple sources directly connected to the Rust production tell TMZ the same gun Alec Baldwin accidentally fired was being used by crew members offset as well for what we're told amounted to target practice. That would be with real bullets, the same ones that were found in the chamber that day. This has not been confirmed. Okay, TMZ reported it. We have not heard anything from police saying this is true or even that this is false. Again, I'm not going to sit here and point the finger towards anyone because this is such a delicate situation. Someone did lose their life, and there is someone who was very seriously injured by this. But that's all that I really had to discuss with it. Of course, this is going to be probably an ongoing topic for quite a while, so I'll probably end up talking about it during next week's discussion stream as well. But that's all that I really had to discuss tonight, guys. I talked about Rust, we talked about Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 being delayed, Fortnite being shut down in China, Ubisoft developing new, not so promising play-to-earn blockchain games, and also Gina Carano. I'm going to be sticking around for a couple minutes, so if you guys have any questions or topics you'd like me to discuss, please feel free to leave them in chat. If you enjoyed the live stream, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Consider donating via Streamlabs, becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon. All the links are in the description. And yeah, I'll chat with you guys for a few minutes before I sign off for the evening. Yeah, I mean, AP, that's like the #1 question. How did a live round get on set in the first place? I mean, clearly someone was fucking around with these guns. Or doing something. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories that, like, it was a setup. I'm not gonna talk about any of those, because we definitely don't have any evidence of that. But there's a lot of ideas that people have about the situation. Accidents do happen on sets all the time, with stuntmen, with, you know, stunt doubles, and look at the Brandon Lee situation. Accidents do happen, but this obviously is a very big situation, just because it was an actor who unfortunately did kill someone else. Yeah, a lot of accidents are avoidable. If these people had done their jobs, if they had checked the gun to make sure there was nothing in it, if people weren't playing around with the guns, this situation wouldn't have happened. If someone simply did their job and took the 5 to 10 extra minutes to check the gun to make sure all the bullets were fine, this could have been avoided. Weren't they target shooting on set with live rounds? That is a rumor that's been going around. That was never confirmed. So, yeah. It was a rumor that was going around. This sounds like a fourth-rate movie production filled with incompetent and reckless people that would never have been hired for a Hollywood blockbuster. I do agree. I do agree. Obviously, Alec Baldwin's a pretty big name in the entertainment industry, but everyone else, besides, I'd probably say the director and Helena, I mean, they've worked with Hollywood before. They like doing a lot of independent projects, but besides the three of them, it doesn't really sound like a lot of those other people would have been hired. Mainstream Hollywood. I feel like it's going to be next to impossible to find these answers. Probably. We're probably never going to get the full story. We'll probably get a watered down version of the story, but who knows. Right. I'm saying 5 to 10 minutes to be generous. 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, it should take like fucking 3 minutes if you know how to do your job. But of course, everyone wants to half-ass and cut corners, and situations like this happen, which are terrible. There's no scene in need of live rounds. She brought live rounds for recreational purpose. We don't know if it was her that did it. It's being rumored that it was her, and that she was the one with the live rounds who put the live rounds in it. That hasn't been confirmed yet. It's a hard situation to talk about because it is a tragic, unfortunate, very sad fucking situation. It's not just like an easy topic to discuss. There's a lot we do not know about this right now. And we probably won't know all the details ever. And we probably won't have some of the details for a while. I wonder if this tragedy will cause Hollywood to change to John Wick style of filming gun action, non-firing weapons. The gun flashes and sound effects are added in post-production, much safer. I think that they should go in that direction. I mean, obviously, everyone's going to have their own different opinions. I understand that having a firing gun is easier on set, and it's cheaper and it's less work. It's not worth it if people are losing their lives. And yes, there haven't been a lot of situations to this extent over the past, I don't know, we'll say 20 years, where a mainstream actor has killed someone or been killed with a gun. But that doesn't mean that, oh, because it's, you know, it's 1 in 20 years, it shouldn't be taken, you know, that seriously. It was just a freak accident. I think all these situations should be taken extremely seriously. I do think that they probably should switch the way that they film gun scenes now. I really do. Baldwin must feel terrible. Can't imagine what all of them are going through. I know a lot of people have been saying, you know, Alec Baldwin should be arrested. It's his fault no matter, you know, what happened. He was the one that shot the gun. I want to see all of the details and the evidence, obviously. But either way, no matter who gets in trouble for this, no matter what happens, I'm sure all of them are going through a fucking lot. And I do feel bad for Alec Baldwin. Because he didn't know that the gun was loaded. He didn't know. He was told that all the safety precautions were taken. The gun was checked. Everything was okay. He was told information. And unfortunately, it wasn't true. I'm sure that he's going through a lot. He was caught in Vermont, I believe it was. Yeah, Vermont, with his wife. And he kind of blew up at, paparazzi, basically, and journalists. It just kind of went off the walls, and it seems like he is having a really hard time with it. Yeah, movies are supposed to be fun, not this. Yeah, I mean, it's not worth it when people are losing their lives. That is absolutely fucking terrible, and it is so sad that someone had to lose their life for people to take, again, gun safety seriously, even though this happened with Brandon Lee. You'd think that, oh, maybe, I don't know, people would take gun safety seriously. It's still a gun. But no. No, of course, there's gotta be people that, you know, cut corners and don't do their fucking jobs. But alright, guys, I'm going to end the live stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or becoming a member of the channel via memberships. You get access to special emotes, badges. You have a special, like, Dark Titan badge next to your name. You get a special join message. You get access to... If you're a Patreon or a member via memberships, you get access to our special supporter-only channel in the Discord server, and access to monthly supporter-only live streams. I will not be streaming tomorrow, guys, but I will be streaming on Thursday. I'll be streaming some new Apex. I'll probably play Ash, maybe, the brand new character, or at least Loba. And I'll be showing off the new map, talking about my thoughts, and probably chatting about a couple topics like we did tonight. But yeah, check out the links in the description. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, Odyssey, join our Discord server, all that fun stuff. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.